Hey everyone, I'm Hana and I'm going to be talking about how to tell if you're close to burning out. I've been in the tech industry for 8 years now and I'm the founder of Hana Codes, which is a digital agency where I help companies with what I call growth design to enable brands to navigate and thrive in a mobile and social hyper-connected world, which involves website design, branding, and social media marketing strategies. I'm also the founder of Bridge the Gap in Tech, which is a virtual community that meets a few times a week to share knowledge relating to tech from the perspective of underrepresented people. I'm also a sole parent to a vibrant 4-year-old who keeps me on my toes. With that being said, I'm juggling a lot of plates, so I understand burnout firsthand. So what is burnout? You'd think it's pretty simple, right? Overworking, a tough work environment, etc. But what is burnout? Burnout is a state of emotional, physical, and mental exhaustion caused by excessive and prolonged stress. It occurs when you feel overwhelmed, emotionally drained, and unable to meet constant demands. As the stress continues, you begin to lose interest and motivation that led you to take on a role in the first place. The negative effects of burnout spill over into every area of your life, including your home, work, and social life. Burnout can also cause long-term changes to your body that make you vulnerable to illnesses like colds and flus. Because of its many consequences, it's important to deal with burnout right away. Are you on the road to burnout? You may be on the road to burnout if every day is a bad day. Caring about work or home life seems like a total waste of energy. You're exhausted all the time. The majority of your day is spent on tasks you find either mind-numbingly dull or overwhelming. You feel like nothing you do makes a difference or is appreciated. So I'm going to talk about the differences between stress and burnout, as some of them are similar. Burnout may be the result of unrelenting stress, but it isn't the same as too much stress. Stress, by and large, involves too much. Too many pressures, too many demands of you physically and mentally. However, stressed people can still imagine that if they can just get everything under control, that they'll feel better. Burnout, on the other hand, is about not being enough. Being burnt out means feeling completely empty and mentally exhausted. People experiencing burnout often don't see any hope of positive change in their situations. If excessive stress feels like you're drowning in responsibilities, burnout is a sense of being all dried up. And while you're usually aware of being under a lot of stress, you don't always notice when burnout happens. Dealing with burnout, whether you recognize the warning signs of impending burnout or you already passed the breaking point, trying to push through the exhaustion and continuing as you have been will only cause further emotional and physical damage. Now is the time to pause and change direction by learning how you can help yourself overcome burnout and feel healthy and positive again. Dealing with burnout requires the 3R approach. You need to recognize, reverse, and have resilience. In order to recognize this, you need to watch out for the warning signs of burnout. In order to reverse this, you need to undo the damage by seeking support and managing stress. And with resilience, you need to build your resilience to stress by taking care of your physical and emotional health. Self-care helps us manage stress better and allows us to be more productive. Taking care of ourselves helps us keep up the good work-life balance. Scheduling self-care, looking closely at your calendar and plugging in your self-care time just as you would other obligations and sticking to it. Self-care can range widely, from regular exercise to other events and hobbies, time alone, meditation, or taking time to sit down and eat a meal rather than on the run. The little things count. If you don't have blocks of time, you can still fit in moments of relaxation. Even if you take just 2 minutes to close your eyes, take a few deep breaths, this can make a profound difference in the way you feel. For me, between my client meetings, I sit and meditate or even just close my eyes just for a few minutes, use my essential oils at night, or just take a moment to breathe. These little things help me stay in balance. Another major thing with burnout is learning to say no. I confess this has been a hard one for me, as consequently has hampered on my own self-care. I'll tell you from personal experience how important it is to realize you don't have to agree to everything everyone asks or invites you to do. You need to create new habits. You need to accept and embrace the fact that self-care is absolutely non-negotiable. It will naturally become a daily part of your life and you'll easily have balance. Habits are formed by repetition, by grooving new healthy habits, by choosing one action you can take a week to care for yourself and sticking with it. Self-care needs to be something that we're actively doing and something that's not something that we're forced to do. Another thing with self-care is turning off distractions. When we're doing too many things at once, we're not actually multitasking. We're attention switching. When we start a task and then respond to every single ding through email, social media, or text, it takes longer to actually get our work done, which causes more stress and you feeling overwhelmed. You'll get a lot more done without the notifications, plus you'll give your brain a break when you allow yourself to focus on the task at hand. Another most important thing is sleep, making sleep a priority. Sleep experts suggest aiming 7 hours a night. When we're sleep deprived, it can affect our memory, thinking, and concentration. When we're not thinking clearly, it can have an entire ripple effect in itself. Being intentional. If you need something to symbolize a disconnect between work and home, try journaling or meditation. I know it's very difficult during this time, but I like to journal out all my feelings about that day, especially if it was emotionally draining. Once it's all written out, you feel more relaxed and able to move on to other things. This step is going to take a little motivation and thinking, but it'll be worth it. Adding little pockets into your evening routine, like a small task like journaling, cooking, a workout, or a stretch routine, working on a new hobby, will give you something to look forward to in the evenings, something that makes you feel energized and happy about the time you get to spend with yourself after work. You can't recover from burnout without sleep. I touched upon this earlier, but when I say sleep, I mean quality rest every single night. I know that stress can either make you want to sleep too much or interrupt your sleep to where you're not getting enough, but you're going to need to make some adjustments to make sure you're getting enough rest if you want to beat burnout. My suggestion is to put the phone and any other screens like your iPad, your laptops, I know everyone's working from their beds at the moment, an hour away before you want to fall asleep. And other natural ways to help you get some rest are to take some melatonin, use lavender essential oil, or drink chamomile tea. And in the morning, stop hitting the snooze button. It only makes you groggier when you do finally get up. Another thing that's super important during this time is social self-care. Connecting with a loved one, making time out to laugh about life and rejoicing in that connection, and maintaining connections with other people is super important. Join a community or a group online and disconnect from work for a while. For my sake, looking after me means that I'm a better mum to my daughter, a better friend to my friends, a better daughter to my parents. I'm no good if I'm tired and overwhelmed all the time. Taking this space is super important to me and the others that I love too. In that, self-care saved me from extreme burnout. It wasn't easy to slow down and find time for myself throughout the day, so instead, I get up early and devote an hour of my time to myself. I created a daily self-care routine that starts my day off on a positive note. This positivity bleeds over into other aspects of my life, and it has been life-changing. It's been miserable getting up for work in the morning, and now getting up is an enjoyable experience because I have something to look forward to, like that iced coffee, listening to a podcast, or just genuinely relaxing. I've noticed I'm generally happier and filled with a sense of gratitude for my blessings in life. My gratitude practice is another important part of my daily self-care routine. By practicing gratitude, I'm able to find more joy in my daily life, and I'm much more attentive to those that I love. With mindfulness practice, I experience less anxiety, stress, and negative thinking. This is really important, not only for your health, but also the health and well-being of everyone you care about as well. I know it's hard to find time for self-care. That's why I recommend scheduling it in just for yourself. Self-care might seem silly at first, but it literally saved my life. I hope you find something that works for you. Thank you for taking the time to listen to my presentation. Feel free to connect with me on Twitter if you have any questions or other suggestions to deal with burnout.